From Seminole Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida, this is Poker Night in America. Hello and welcome back to Poker Night in America's continuing coverage of the Big Four at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open. Alongside Joe Stapleton, I'm Chris Hansen.
It's been the honor of a lifetime, Chris. Our final table is now 7-handed after hours of 9-handed play, and we'll get down there in just a moment. But first, let's recap what's going on at our other Big Three final tables.
All right, Stapes, 3 other tables still going on here at Seminole Hard Rock. Let's start with the $1,100 buy-in event. This had a prize pool of $537,000, and these are the 3 that are left in this event. Keith Brennan, Hanger Elkin, and John Mahalik remain in the battle for $104,000 for first place. Next, we'll jump over the 2650 No Limit event. This is event number 21 in your programs if you're following along. Had 385 entrants, and we got a guaranteed prize pool of $1 million in this bad boy. And just 3 players left here, too. A couple of them you will very much recognize. That would be Jessica Dolly. She's a Poker Night in America regular. Also, Fraz Jaka and Nicholas Zouchar, the 3 players that are going for that $204,000 first place prize. And for those who thoroughly like to light money on fire, this is the High Roller event. $25,500 to buy into this one. 115 entries put 2.8 milli in this prize pool. And again, some very familiar faces are left at this final table, including Sean Deeb, Poker Night in America slow roll originator, and Olivier Bousquet, who has won our Heads Up event on Poker Night in America. Also, Albert Daher and Andy Andrejevic round out the 4 players who remain in the High Roller event. And now let's get back to the final table where the blinds are at Joe's least favorite level. $75,000 and $125,000 with a $125,000 chip ante.
Yeah, I don't care for the math on that at all.
Our big stack, Sean Winter, he's got 16.5 million in chips. And Stapes, we've got a couple of real shorties who are just hanging on by their fingernails.
I mean, that was the tail of the tape for the last game. It cannot last forever. Some of these players, in fact, all of them but one, are gonna have to go. So we're looking at a 40K prize jump between the next 2 eliminations. Joseph Chong all in. Despite losing 4 out of his 5 all-ins so far at this final table, he is still hanging around. Come on, only one of which he was legitimately behind in. He finds himself behind again.
I prefer
Somehow, even if he loses this, he will still be in the tournament.
Here's the flop. It's 3-6-5. Lentini ahead and all in. Turn is a 10.
Diamond's no good for Chong.
The 7 comes on the river, and Lentini's going to double up.
Joseph Chong has now lost 5 of 6 all-ins he's been involved in.
And he's still playing. Amazing.
Joe, if you're coming back from that, I'll give you another $1 million.
All you need is a chip and a chair, and that's kind of what he's got left.
You know, I came up with that phrase back in 2014.
Did you really?
Yep.
I wondered where that had come from when I was using it back in 1998. Fish makes it 275 with 10s. Chong's all in with 9-10 suited. You gotta wonder who's gonna put this all together and make a run at our chip leader, Sean Winter.
Harar not giving him the isolation he would have liked.
If you're Chong and you're that short, go ahead, bring more people in. Why not? I want to get as many chips as I can at one time. Flop 7, Jack, Ace.
8, he can hit an 8.
Deuce on the turn. And that's going to do it for Joe Chong.
No, he lasted so long. He's like Glenn from The Walking Dead. No, not because he's Asian, because he lasted so long, and we finally lost him, and it's sad. 7th place, Joe Chong, $115,300.
Well, the elimination there, let's head over to the 2650 final table because we have a player who is at risk here Nicholas Zautra has moved all in for just under 700,000 with suited Jack 10. Will Jaka make the call? He will. So very close with these two hands, King 7 and Jack 10. But again, Zautra is the one who is at risk. And the flop is 8-4-10. So Zautra looking good now, making a pair of tens. Third place is $91,000. And look at this, Jaka pulls back ahead now on the turn with the king. And the river is a 9, and that is going to do it for Nicholas Zautra. He came to this final table in the middle of the chip stacks and is going to end up going out third place, so I guess you would consider that a success. And now let's go back to our main event. Now with 6 players left, that means the next one to leave goes home 139,000. In case we haven't made it clear yet, it's almost 700 for first place at 698. Farrell's all in. Pocket 5s for Jordan Fish.
Calls the all in.
And now to our chip leader, Winter. He's folding. Shlomo El-Harar. He's out.
Even I'm getting sick of my dumb flipping metaphors, but it's in my contract, so like salmon versus tuna, one of these two hands has a slight mathematical advantage and a fish pun. I'm taking the rest of the day.
Fish's 5's way out in front.
9.
And that'll do it for Farrell. And so just like the awkward handshake fist bump. That's a good time. Farrell's gone, but he's leaving with 139,000. So really, he's probably not going to miss us.
Now, if you could step over to see Mike, where he will remove your heart. Thank you.
Just your microphone.
And whoop, he dropped it.
Excuse me, I'll take that.
Sorry.
Last time here on the Big Four, we went hours without an elimination, and here we lose another 2 in the first couple hands.
They call that first elimination breaking the seal. Speaking of which, I'm going to go visit the bucket in the corner that production has assigned for my use.
How would you like to play against the pros on national TV? Download now to play and win. It's absolutely free to play. Welcome back to Poker Night's coverage of the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open Big Four, where our final table seats just 5 remaining players. Now, the next player to exit will take home over $176,000, but more significant, how about the $700,000 up top?
I would recommend going for the 700 grand.
We got 3 fairly short stacks here with Fish, El-Harar, and Lentini.
King 7 suited, you should limp with that under the gun. I was about to say you should limp with that under the gun.
That's exactly what El-Harar did. Over to Lentini, he folds. Jerry Robinson has folded. Back to Fish, calls the big blind. And now for our chip leader, he checks.
Sean limbering up for whatever hoops El-Harar is going to make him jump through.
Fish has flopped top pair. Winter's got middle pair.
Now, I know this is going to sound crazy, but you can look it up in any poker book, okay? But the correct play here for El-Harar, and I'm looking at the Pio chart right now. The correct play here with King 7 of diamonds is to raise. Raise and raise small. It's right here. Look it up in any poker book.
I don't know about your reading abilities there, but El-Harar is doing kind of what you're talking about.
Yeah, no offense to El-Harar, and I know I can see the whole cards. But if I'm Fish, I don't know how you could ever fold top pair to thin diesel over there. He gets a fold from top pair, and he shows it. The Chronicles of Riddick.
Okay, so now we're bouncing over to the $1,100 event, where we have another player who is all in, and that is John Mahalik. But he's doing good pre-flop, ace-queen versus jack-5. And the flop is deuce 7 jack. So now Elkin has the lead. 3 on the turn. And so now it's an ace or a queen only. It doesn't happen for Mahalik, and that'll do it. John Mahalik, from his $1,100 buy-in, Pufto Changeo, makes it into $46,000 for his third place finish. And now back to the madness over at our main event final table.
Ace 4 of diamonds for Jordan Fish. Makes it $300K. Shalom reaching for chips, which means I am already 90% more interested in this hand. Will he call or will he raise? Call. Great. Great. Lentini with just one player left to act behind. Can he get away with a limp? He's going to try it. Robinson.
Out of the big blind, just 175,000 more to call.
Let him live.
Yeah.
3 players, they say. El Harar's kicker is good for now.
You know, if you added up all 4 of these players' chips, you still wouldn't get close to Sean Winter's chip stack. That's how far out ahead he is.
Well, luckily he is not involved in this hand. He gets to sit back and watch. Fish bets his ace high, trying to fold out slightly better, gets called by El Harar, does fold out at least one better hand.
All right, so ace 4 versus ace 10 as we go to the turn. It's a queen.
Fish checks. Shalom checks.
All right, the river is a 6 of diamonds.
Check.
Well, I would expect this to go check, check a lot.
Wow, but El Harar is convinced he's got the best hand, so he's betting it.
I don't know if he's bluffing or value betting, but he is right.
Ooh, and he shows that he had the ace. Didn't show the other card, though. Leave Fish dangling there. And scooting back over to the $1,100 table. Will this be the first one to end of the Big Four? Right now, Kanger Elkin is all in with 9s versus ace-jack. Oh, boy, the flop is 3-9-jack, so that gives Brennan a pair, but gives Elkin a set. Oh, the turn is an ace, so now Brennan has a little bit more life. He needs an ace or a jack to take the event down. Oh, and it is an ace. Oh, boy, it's house over house. And first place gonna go to Keith Brennan. He walks with $104,000. That bad beat gets Kanger Elkin $72,000. Stapes, that one's probably gonna sting for a while.
What do you think of Sean Winter's pepperoni stack there? Big, thick, meaty stack. Spicy.
Days worth of play down to our final table here for just under $700,000 for first place.
Chris, I've written a advertising slogan for Jacks.
Okay.
Jacks, terrible players hate them. Pretty good, right?
I think it works. That is very descriptive. Queen Jack for Lentini.
Well, Lentini's getting looked up in at least one spot. We've still got Robinson yet to act. He's going to need to wake up with a real hand here to call all in with Lentini already at risk.
2.5.
That's a real hand. Robinson re-raising $2.5 million. Now, there is a chance Winter gets out of the way and lets these two duke it out. Robinson has several hands in his range that Jacks aren't happy about.
Not in bad shape.
Winter gets out of the way.
Come on, baby.
Lentini is at risk, and 2 of his jack outs have been folded. Nobody tell him.
Here we go. Here comes the flop. It's 9-7-4. Robinson ahead. Lentini on the ropes.
He wants it real bad.
Come on.
Board bricks out, ace, king, good. Lentini, more like Houdini, because he's disappearing and he is probably gonna have a stomachache. Continuing coverage of the Big Four will return after Jerry Robinson realizes how amazingly the stars align for him in that hand.
Yeah, it should just take a minute or two. Welcome back to the Seminole Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida, where just 4 players remain at our main event final table. The blinds are at 75 and 150,000.
And don't forget that full ante paid by the big blind as well. Oh, and the next player out will win over $230,000. But again, I'd recommend going for the higher payouts that are increasingly more rewarding, because with more money, you can buy more stuff.
Jordan Fish, officially our short stack.
Our limps in with ace-8 suited. Robinson checks, gets a free flop.
Flops 5-3 queen.
Check.
Robinson does have a gut shot, or as I like to call it, a belly buster. Check, check.
turns an ace. So El Harar now has a pair of aces, making it harder for Robinson to catch up.
El Harar checks it, very sly.
Now a 3 on the river. Will El Harar be betting for value? Try to get a little out of this. Nope, he checks. It looks like Robinson, if I can use one of your terms, is getting frisky.
He does induce the river bet from Robinson, makes a quick call. And once again, El Harar's unorthodox play gets him paid.
And over to the high roller event, we've got an all-in with Sean Deeb and Olivier Bousquet. Both of them hit the 8 on the flop. Deeb moved all in. Bousquet wasn't buying it, but it's Bousquet who is going to need some help in order to stay alive. And the river is a deuce, and Bousquet does not get that help he was looking for, and so he gets eliminated in 3rd place in the high roller event. But still in the running for the top prize is Sean Deeb. That top prize, $778K. And we head back to our feature table here at the Big Four.
Shalom, 5-4 of hearts. Limps in. This is Jerry Robinson's, I think I want to play a hand face.
Well, he is playing a hand so far. He's got pocket 3s, and he calls.
It's a real cheap price for 3s.
All in.
You fish.
A little bit more expensive. Jordan Fish is all in for $2 million.
All in.
Sean Winter is coming. Pocket 10s. He's all in over the top. And we have
Didn't have
potentially a 4th place finish on the line.
Sean woke up.
Quick, everyone run away from the table. Okay, now they're coming back.
Let's see it.
Set.
Okay, there's some help that Fish needed.
That's not a set, Shalom. It's a pair. We've all done it, though. Hey, maybe he thinks all pairs are sets, and that's why he's so aggressive.
All right, Fish needs a king or an 8.
Good game, guys.
That is not a king, and he's gone in 4th place for $232,000.
Guess it's time to get back in the water.
Is that going to be the last Fish joke of the day?
I think it is.
Okay.
Sean Winter claims another. This is Florida. This is where people go to avoid falling from winter.
So Winter's got over 20 million chips as we play 3-handed. 3rd place tonight, $314,000.
And Sean has a hand he will not be folding pre-flop for any amount of money or chips. It's pretty cool. You can see Jessica Dolly and Faraz Jaka playing heads up in the background, one of the other Big Four tournaments.
Flops 8-3 ace.
Now that is a set.
Certifiably, that is a set. Robinson also makes a pair of 3s.
Robinson's in a pretty bad spot here. Winter's going to be betting from the button with a huge range of his hands. Calling with bottom pair here is not totally out of the question.
Winter bets 200,000, and looks like Robinson does call.
Yeah, easy call with that amount in the middle. Snap that jack, dealer. I think Winter has to keep betting here. When Robinson calls the flop, he's going to have a lot of hands that will keep calling turn. This particular hand might not be one of them, but there are lots that would. And Winter goes big this time, bets $1 million. And this is going to be a little bit too much for bottom pair to call, I think. Good discipline laydown from Jerry Robinson. Now, hold on. That might sound like an amber alert, but remember, we're in Florida, where the alerts for children are amber, for the elderly, there's silver, and then there's green for alligators.
So does that mean an alligator is in the... Which one is it? What's
Well,
going on?
sometimes there's an amber alert for a green alert. Jerry Robinson kicking things off. First to act on the button, ace-10 suited.
Makes it 350. Winter folds his small blind.
Smooth.
El Harar's having way too much fun with this. I love it.
He calls.
With Queen Jack, same suit. 2 clubs on the flop, you guys. This could get super weird. Get in here.
Oh, boy.
Shalom has checked to Jerry.
I call him Gerard. We've got a good vibe.
Fair. And look, he's reaching for calling chips before Jerry can even bet. Who does that? Slaps it in the middle.
He raises to 700,000. Look at that. Not even just
Sorry.
a call, he raises.
They weren't calling chips, they were raising chips, and now Robinson is all in.
It's just under 3 million for El Harar to call.
Pretty fitting that Shalom means hello and goodbye. Either way, we have his decision covered here.
That's really sick. I can't believe I folded. But it's okay. Nice.
Wow, and Jerry Robinson there takes a big pot.
Think you had draw bigger than mine. Nice.
Think you had draw bigger than mine is pretty specific and somehow 100% accurate.
He's a field player, as the veterans say somewhat earnestly, and as the kids say entirely disparagingly.
Closed captioning is brought to you as a public service by Poker Night in America. Welcome back to Poker Night in America's coverage of the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open Big Four. And our baby is still three-handed.
Chris, I would love our baby no matter what.
I know, Stapes. I know. So blinds are 75 and 150 as we are three-handed. Here's the payouts. 314 for third, 487 for second, and 698 for first.
So raising a call so far. Jerry Robinson with a crappy hand, but great pot odds.
Now, back when we started this final table and we're still nine-handed, it was Shalom El Harar who was going after Winter hand after hand. So I think maybe Winter looks at him like, I see you kind of as the only threat that's left. No disrespect to Robinson over there, but you kept coming after me when there didn't seem to be any reasons to come after me.
He's a threat the way an uncapped fire hose is a threat. You just don't know where he's going to go.
Could go anywhere. Three of diamonds on the turn after everyone checked the flop. El Harar bets the turn.
Top pair still quite good.
And Winter calls, so just under 2 million now in the pot as we head to the river. It's an 8.
Here he goes. Here he goes. 900,000 into 1.95 million. Check out the look of utter bewilderment on Sean Winter's face. And folds top pair.
Woof, and he shows him the 10.
10 high?
Yes.
10 high.
This is too good. I hope it never ends. They should go on Amazing Race after this.
And now we're going back over to the high roller event where it's heads up between Sean Deeb and Albert Daher. Daher's all in with sevens, and he's going to be at risk against Sean Deeb's ace-queen. Will this be the winning moment for Sean Deeb? Let's find out. The flop is 10-8 Jack.
Yeah. I don't want to make a straight.
Board pairs with a 10. And look at that, Sean Deeb was correct. Like Babe Ruth calling his shot. He wins the hand and, more importantly, wins the $25,000 no-limit hold'em high roller event and the $778K that goes with it. Congratulations, Sean.
Winter in position this time. Raises ace-5. Quick call from El Harar.
Robinson also will be calling, so all three players will go to the flop together again.
What a flop this one is. Top pair versus two pair, and El Harar once again with nothing.
Check, check to our chip leader. And now over to the guy who just flopped two pair, went in with the worst of it, comes out with the best.
Now this could be a good spot for a raise on a wet board. It's a susceptible two pair. Calling works too if you want to keep El Harar's bluffing range in.
I call. Call? Yeah.
Calling slightly riskier IMO. You know what they say, no gamble, no future. So another Broadway card on the turn. We've got a flush draw now for El Harar, as well as a Broadway straight draw. Robinson playing this real slow. Once again, let me reiterate, risky. Doesn't get a chance to get a check raise in, checks around.
Oh boy, it's a red card.
So somehow Robinson dodges the river. Wow. I do think he missed some value on the turn. But luckily, he's got Shalom El Harar firing with king high.
Jerry's all in for 950,000.
Winter's got top pair. I think he should be able to get away from this. Put it all together, and Robinson very clearly has a monster. Winter folds in. Oh, boy, Robinson exposes his hand. El Harar is not called yet.
Hasn't called you.
Well, he's not going to call now.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
So kind.
No, he certainly does not call now. I think the thank you was a little unnecessary. Sean, a little bewildered by this. I do think it was an honest mistake, but in a three-way heads-up match for hundreds of thousands, you have to be very careful. Everything you do affects the entire tournament.
We have a high-risk pregnancy, doctor.
What? What are you doing here? Actually, I know, probably trying to earn money to pay for the American healthcare system. I totally understand.
8.5.
Oh, wow. Congratulations, man.
Well, that is so sweet, but we got to get back to the poker. Once again, we are flipping, potentially for third place.
I know you got one more in you, Stapes.
Like the miracle of childbirth versus the joy of being a parent. One of these two hands has a slight mathematical advantage.
Here it comes. Winter's ahead, but Robinson has a chance. Oh, misses the flop. Ace or a king for Robinson, otherwise we're heads up.
Goodbye, Jerry. Jerry Robinson out in third with $314,230. Big round of applause for Jerry putting up with Shalom this entire day. Let's let him hear it. Well, it is time for heads-up play here at our main event final table, which means we must seat them at opposite ends of the table. Therefore, we're going to need a few minutes to do that. We got to bring in union guys. It's a whole thing.
So here we go. Heads up for $699,175,000. And boy, the chip stacks are pretty close here, huh, Stapes?
Actually, no. Winter has got about a 5.5 to 1 lead over El Harar. 27.5 million plays 5 million. So.
All right. So you're saying he's got a chance.
He does have a chance.
Second place is 487,000.
No matter what happens, this heads up should be very, very fun as we take our first flop. Top pair for Winter. And of course, El Harar is betting. He does have a pair this time.
Blinds, by the way, are 100 and 200,000. If you're the big blind, you're also putting in the 200K ante.
Yikes.
As we start our heads-up play here, we get a bet and a call on the flop. Now a check on the turn from Shalom El Harar.
Is he actually giving up for once?
It's not his style.
I'd be tempted to check if I were Winter. There's no chance El Harar ever doesn't bet twice.
On the flip side of that, if you get him to call the turn, he might try to take it away and bet on the river, which you know would be good for you if you're Winter.
Now, El Harar hates folding, but this time he actually should not be folding, probably.
And our first heads-up hand is at 2.5 million, and we're going to the river. King of diamonds on the river. We got one check and over to Winter.
2.5 million in the middle. How much will Winter add? 1.5 million.
Try to understand something.
El Harar is really, really, really not going to want to believe Sean here.
He calls, and he finds out he's wrong.
He was very, very wrong. Got him.
Oof.
This is going to give Sean an even more significanter lead.
Yeah, Winter now has 28.5 million. El Harar with 3.8 million.
It's like a 7-1 chip lead. No big deal.
You are awesome.
That is very cute. Little pep talk. I'll allow it.
So Winter has played this entire final table as our chip leader, and a very big chip lead at that. He's never let it get away.
He has never not had the chip lead, but this is a good start of a comeback for El Harar. That's one way to get some chips back. Just flop the joint.
They both check. Now we're going to the turn. There's a 6. That gives Winter a pair of 6s now.
It's going to make it a little harder for El Harar to get paid.
200 is the bet. And a call. The river's a deuce.
It goes
Straight.
check, tiny bet, call.
You don't see it either, huh?
The straight is good. I don't think El Harar got max value from it.
If you're El Harar, I don't even know what point you have to get to be comfortable here. In it, you know what I mean?
Just
Like,
where I am.
you know you're always going to be battling uphill. To what point is it where you're like, okay, now I've got it. Now I can really do something.
When you have a 7-1 chip lead.
He's miles away from that because that is what Winter has.
He's only 4 double ups away from winning.
Sean, first time final table?
No, you? What a flop for Shalom. Open-ended straight flush draw.
They both check. Here comes the turn. And there's the flush for El Harar.
Great turn for him, but he really needs
already
to
busted.
stop the clubs now, unless it's a 9 or a 4.
Dang it.
Winter misses, pays him off.
Ship it over again.
Pays off the small
Out of that
bet with
flush.
top pair.
Yeah, right. Give me the chip.
Sean is taking this incredibly well. I know Shalom isn't trying to be a jerk, but if I was playing against him, it'd be hard for me to take it any other
You
way.
got pajama. It's not gonna get in. Until
It's like Shalom is just constantly giving himself a
do.
pep talk here. Like, I know I don't have the chips, but I've got the gumption, and that counts for something.
We should all take a lesson from that. So El Harar limps. Winter bumps it up with 7-6.
I was wondering how long it was going to be till Winter kind of started pushing the action a little bit more. Like, let's try to maybe force the issue here.
He's definitely going to raise the price of poker.
Flops deuce 6-9.
Winter flops a pair.
Eight of spades on the turn.
Winter now has a pair and a straight draw. El Harar has got a gut shot.
All the checks going to the river. Winter going to bet this or let El Harar take a stab?
Winter checks. I think this is the play to make with any of your bottom tier hands. It's just check and call a small bet from El Harar. He really doesn't bet very big, even when he's bluffing.
That is just over $1 million.
Okay, this time he bet big.
And that's a significant amount of chips for El Harar. I mean, you can't just be firing out million chip bets.
King guy.
Winter stations him anyway.
Oh boy.
And El Harar, after that hand,
Listen.
down to a 9-1 chip deficit. Don't carve Sean Winter's name into the trophy just yet. Mostly because we need to take a commercial.
Well, that's not very nice. Shalom El Harar has still plenty of chips and some of those coaster-looking placky thingies. How would you like to play against the pros on national TV? Download now to play and win. It's absolutely free to play.
Welcome back to Poker Night, America's coverage of the Big Four, where our final table is down to the Big Two. Shalom El Harar and Sean Winter are battling for that first place trophy and prize money of nearly $700,000.
And Shalom is going to need a double up ASAP because he is sitting on roughly 15 big blinds. Let's head down to the table and see what fate has in store for all of us. All right, so we are playing for just under $700,000. Second place, $487,000. Winter has had an absolute lockdown on this massive chip.
Winter has been coming and coming and coming.
And if he keeps playing like this, he's going to go with the win here tonight at Seminole Hard Rock.
Well, El Harar's got a pair, so hold on to your butts.
Here comes Winter with a bet.
Now, when El Harar calls, he's either got a pair, a draw, or two totally unconnected cards he's got a good feeling about.
7 of diamonds on the turn.
Both players pick up a diamond draw. Winter in very bad shape. Checks behind.
El Harar makes the nut flush on the river.
And Winter makes a very costly second best hand with his 10 high flush. And once again, I think Winter's just going to have to call. He does. And El Harar is going to get a little bit back.
Is there another card?
Only a 7-1 chip deficit now.
You know why it's better I win? Because she's asking questions and I'm talking. And then she's gonna have more fun.
Make sure you change your batteries before.
Yeah.
El Harar thinks he deserves to win because he'll make a better interview for Maria Ho, and I honestly cannot argue with that logic.
Go ahead.
Winter made it 400,000. El Harar called. Flop is ace high.
El Harar with the best of it again, pair of 10s.
I mean, he's hitting some of these flops, but he just can't turn them into big pots.
6.
Okay, well, raising folds out at some hands with equity. I will allow it.
Well, it seems like forever since we checked in on the 2650 table, so let's do so now. Faraz Jaka is all in with pocket eights. Dolly calls with ace deuce. And the flop is ace 4-9. Championship on the line here with these two. Jaka needs some assistance on the turn. He doesn't get it. And he's now down to only an 8 to stay alive. Otherwise, Jessica Dolly will win another championship here at Seminole Hard Rock. Give her the guitar pick. Jessica Dolly takes it down. The Seminole Hard Rock, event number 21, the $1 million guarantee of that. She's got $204,000. And for always, forever, a place in our heart here on Poker Night in America. Way to go, Jessica. And now we go back to Heads Up Poker at our main event, final table.
Still a huge chip discrepancy between these two. Sean Winter with his boot on the neck of Shalom El Harar, just waiting for his chance to put him away for good. Pocket sevens for the Israeli.
Oh, wow.
Limps in. This is what you're hoping for with pocket sevens.
Sure is.
Listen, that's my favorite hand, you know? And this is from Vegas, my favorite hand. I call.
Okay, well, we just said El Harar needs that double up to like bounce and start moving.
He's been waiting for this all day.
Will we play on, or will we be crowning a champion on this hand?
El Harar really is having so much fun. You really do love to see it. Oh,
Check it.
left him hanging.
Come here, Delia. 7, and it's over.
7, 3, 10. How
Oh, you
about
need
that?
you're right. I forgot you need the
Yeah, it is not over.
10, 3, 10, 3. 10, 3, 10, 3.
King of Hearts.
10, 3, 10, 3.
Chop it now would be so hilarious.
Oh, that would be the worst for El Harar.
Unbelievable.
No.
7 out.
Fucking unbelievable.
I should not be laughing so hard, but when he said it's over on the flop, I just...
No longer your favorite hand.
I mean, that is gross like a gym teacher snot blow. That is just...
It is just not your day.
Oh.
We are fired the dealer.
Oh, no, the dealer just got a raise.
Not only does tonight's winner go home with $698,000, also getting that sweet
What a
trophy
lucky
that's
person.
in the middle. Stapes, if you won that trophy, do you have a mantle to put that on? You don't put something like that on a mantle. You got a mantle?
I could afford one with $600,000. Hey, does anybody else think El Harar might switch things up now from his tight, disciplined style after that hand?
בסדר, אבל אם אני רואה שביעות, ימות העולם.
Ace high flop. King high out in front. Winter can get a free card. Takes it. Winter with some pair outs and a gut shot draw now, but king high still the best. King high still the best. El-Harar checks. I don't really see Winter checking. I don't see him checking. Just gets the insta-fold from king high. Winter can do no wrong here. Seems like this chess match could go all night, so go change into your pajamas and grab yourself a snack because we're in it for the long haul.
We'll be right back with the final segment and conclusion of the Big Four after these messages.
Come on, dude.
They know how long the show is. Welcome back to Poker Night in America's coverage of the Big Four, where our two remaining players have been battling it out as long as it takes to fill 3 television segment blocks.
Which could be anything. Was it 6 hands? Was it 60? You don't need to know. All you need to know is that a champion is still waiting to be crowned. Chris, this has been one of my favorite heads-up matches of all time.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one, and it's not even really because there's, you know, they're so close and they're battling back and forth. There's just a lot of good, entertaining poker. Two players are having a good time.
All personality.
Which you don't get a whole lot of in tournament poker sometimes.
Domination Nation headed to the flop. El-Harar once again with the best high card hand.
Shalom makes it 400,000.
Snap raises with jack high.
I don't have more red.
Winter once again power pokers his way through that one.
So El-Harar down to 600,000 chips.
That is 1 plaque and 1 chip.
All right, we're all in.
And it is Domination Nation. I did say it.
Well, if you're El-Harar right now, it's domination frustration.
Sean Winter on the verge of winning this.
Flop is
7.
5-5-7.
2 sevens would help. 2 more sevens, I mean. Sean Winter on the verge of being the main event champion. 1 card to come.
All good.
And it is over. Sean Winter goes wire to wire here at Seminole Hard Rock.
Good scores. Good players, good players. I enjoy every moment.
Shalom El-Harar cashes for $487,000.
Thank you so much.
Sean Winter wins nearly $700,000.
Very good.
Congratulations to Sean Winters on winning the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open main event, as well as our other Big Four champions. What a series it has been, Stapes.
And thank you to everyone at the Seminole Hard Rock here in Hollywood, Florida. Everyone needs to come down here and check out that big-ass guitar. You can walk inside it.
For Joe Stapleton, I'm Chris Hansen, and for all of us here at Poker Night in America, we'll see you next time.
Hello, my stay-at-home babies. Just wanted to say thanks for watching and thanks for staying home. Unless you watch this somewhere out in public, in which case, bad, shame on you. The way you can make it up to me is to click like or subscribe or leave a comment. A good one only, please. I don't deal so well with the bad stuff. Look at me. I'm clearly not dealing well with any of this.